The quiet hum of machinery filled the bridge of the Earth Alliance vessel Intrepid. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Foster rubbed his tired eyes as he monitored the deep space communications array. Night shifts were always the longest, especially in this remote sector of space where Earth vessels rarely ventured. Ryan checked the time display. 3 more hours until his shift ended. He sipped the last of his cold coffee and grimaced at the bitter taste. As he set down the cup, a strange pattern of beeps broke through the usual background noise of cosmic radiation. "Computer, analyze. Incoming signal," Ryan said, sitting up straighter in his chair. "Signal identified as distress beacon. Protocol matches Galactic Union emergency frequency ZR7, last updated 73 years ago." The computer responded in its flat voice. Ryan frowned. The Galactic Union had reluctantly admitted Earth only 50 years ago, after decades of debate about whether humans from a death world could be trusted in civilized space. Most alien species still viewed humans with fear or disgust, believing that any species that evolved on a planet with Earth's gravity, atmospheric composition, and natural disasters must be inherently dangerous. "Location of distress signal?" Ryan asked. "Coordinates indicate origin in the Mojave sector, approximately 6 hours from current position at maximum speed." Ryan hesitated. Standing orders were clear: minimize contact with other Union species, unless absolutely necessary. Too many diplomatic incidents had occurred when aliens misunderstood human behavior or panicked at human physical capabilities, but a distress signal couldn't be ignored. He pressed the communication button. "Bridge to Captain Wright. Sorry to wake you, Captain, but we've picked up something you need to hear." 5 minutes later, Captain Olivia Wright stood on the bridge in her uniform, short gray hair uncombed, eyes alert despite the early hour. Ryan played the signal again as the captain listened carefully. "That's a very old emergency protocol," she said. "Yes, ma'am. Predates Earth's admission to the Union." Captain Wright studied the star chart showing the signal's origin. "We're the only Union vessel within response range." "The Archimedes is about 2 days away," Ryan offered. 2 days could mean the difference between life and death. The captain's face hardened with determination. "Lieutenant Commander set. Course for those coordinates, maximum speed." "Captain, should we notify Earth Command first? This would take us off our patrol route." "We'll send a message explaining our diversion, but we're not waiting for approval. Union law is clear on responding to distress calls." Ryan nodded and began entering the new course. Behind him, the captain opened the ship-wide communication channel. "Attention all crew, this is Captain Wright. We have received a distress signal and are changing course to investigate. All departments prepare for possible rescue operations. Medical team, stand by for potential alien casualties. This is not a drill." As the Intrepid changed direction, Ryan noticed the captain still standing behind his station. "Something on your mind, Captain?" he asked. "Just remembering the last time we had significant contact with non-humans," she said quietly. "The diplomatic conference on Centauri Prime didn't go well." Ryan winced at the memory. A human delegate had accidentally startled a Moravian ambassador by moving too quickly, causing a diplomatic incident that had taken months to smooth over. "This is different," Ryan said. "We're responding to an emergency." "Which is exactly why I'm concerned. Emergencies are when mistakes happen. Make sure everyone understands. We're there to help, not frighten whoever sent that signal." For the next 6 hours, the Intrepid raced through space. The crew prepared rescue equipment, medical supplies, and communication systems designed to work with various alien technologies. Ryan coordinated with Security Chief Patricia Daniels to ensure that any boarding parties would appear as non-threatening as possible. As they approached the coordinates, the ship's sensors detected debris scattered across a wide area. Captain Wright ordered them to slow to approach speed. "Life signs?" she asked. "Faint readings," Ryan reported, studying his console. "Concentrated in what appears to be a damaged life pod. The main vessel is destroyed, Captain." On the view screen, the remains of a large ship drifted among the stars. Something had torn it apart. "Match the vessel to Union records," Captain Wright ordered. After a moment, Ryan looked up with concern in his eyes. "It's a Navaxi trading ship, Captain. and the damage pattern doesn't match any natural phenomenon I've ever seen. Meaning someone attacked them, and might still be nearby. The Intrepid moved carefully through the debris field. Captain Wright stood at the center of the bridge, her face grim as she studied the floating pieces of the destroyed Navaxi ship. "Status of the life pod?" she asked. Ryan checked his readings. "Atmosphere is leaking slowly. Their life support will fail in about 3 hours. How many survivors?" 12 life forms detected. All appear to be Navaxi based on their biosignatures. Captain Wright nodded. "Prepare a rescue team. Environmental suits required. We don't know what condition that pod is in." 20 minutes later, Ryan joined Chief Medical Officer Alan Martinez and Security Chief Patricia Daniels in the shuttle bay. They checked each other's environmental suits, making sure the seals were secure. "Remember," Patricia said as they boarded the shuttle, "the Navaxi are a peaceful species, but they've probably never seen humans up close before. And most of what they've heard isn't flattering," Ryan added. "They call us Deathworlders for a reason." Dr. Martinez adjusted the medical kit on his belt. "Well, today we'll show them Deathworlders can be helpful." The shuttle launched from the Intrepid and approached the damaged life pod. Up close, Ryan could see the pod was designed for emergency use only, a temporary shelter not meant for extended survival. Large cracks ran along its outer shell. "Their airlock is damaged," the shuttle pilot reported. "We'll need to dock and cut through." Once connected to the pod, Patricia went first, carrying tools to create a safe entry. Ryan and Dr. Martinez followed. The cutting torch made a circle of sparks as it moved through the metal. When the section fell away, the 3 humans entered the pod. Inside, they found the Navaxi huddled together. The aliens resembled Earth squids, but with more tentacles and large, intelligent eyes. Their skin shimmered with soft blue and green, colors that seemed to pulse with their emotions. Right now, those colors darkened with fear at the sight of the humans. One Navaxi moved forward. It wore decorative bands around 3 of its tentacles, marking it as someone important. "I am Kelthar, ambassador for the Navaxi Cooperative," it said in halting Union Standard language. Its voice came from a translation device attached to what Ryan guessed was its throat. "We did not expect humans." Ryan noticed how the ambassador trembled slightly. The other Navaxi pressed further back against the wall. "I'm Lieutenant Commander Foster of the Earth Alliance vessel Intrepid," Ryan said, trying to move slowly. "We're here to help. This is our doctor, Alan Martinez, and our security chief, Patricia Daniels." Dr. Martinez stepped forward, moving carefully. "Several of your people appear injured. May I examine them?" The ambassador's colors shifted rapidly. "You are Deathworlders. We have heard stories." "Whatever you've heard," Patricia said gently. "Right now we're just people who want to help people in trouble." Kelthar seemed to consider this. "Our pod is failing. We have little choice." Dr. Martinez began examining the injured Navaxi, while Ryan and Patricia assessed the damage to the pod. "What happened to your ship?" Ryan asked. "Asteroid collision," Kelthar said quickly. Too quickly. Patricia caught Ryan's eye. They both recognized the lie. "Ambassador," Patricia said, "I've seen asteroid damage before. Your ship was attacked by weapons fire." The Navaxi's colors darkened further. "Please help us reach safety first, then we will explain." As they prepared to move the survivors to the Intrepid, Ryan discovered a small data device hidden beneath a panel. He slipped it into his pocket without comment. Back on the Intrepid, the Navaxi were taken to a specially prepared area in the medical bay. The environment was adjusted to match their homeworld, higher humidity and slightly different air composition. Captain Wright met Ryan and Patricia outside the medical bay. "Your assessment?" she asked. "They're hiding something," Patricia said. "The ambassador claimed it was an asteroid collision, but the damage patterns are consistent with energy weapons." Ryan pulled out the data device. "Found this hidden in the pod. Might tell us what really happened." "Good work. Get that to Engineer Blackwood for analysis." The captain looked through the window at the Navaxi. "Someone attacked a peaceful trading vessel and tried to eliminate all witnesses. I want to know who and why. Captain, Ryan said hesitantly, the Navaxi are terrified of us. They kept calling us Deathworlders. Captain Wright smiled slightly. Then let's show them that sometimes, having Deathworlders on your side is exactly what you need. Engineer Lisa Blackwood turned the small data device over in her hands. Her lab on the lower deck of the Intrepid was filled with alien tech she had studied over the years. This new device was unlike anything she had seen before. It's Navaxi. Technology, but I can't access the data, she told Ryan. It's encrypted. Ryan leaned against a workbench. Can you break it? Not without help. Lisa looked up. We need one of the Navaxi to unlock it. An hour later, Ambassador Kelthar entered the engineering lab, accompanied by Captain Wright. The Navaxi's tentacles moved nervously, and its skin color shifted between deep blue and purple. Thank you for coming, Ambassador, Lisa said. She held up the data device. We found this in your escape pod. We believe it contains important information. Kelthar's large eyes blinked rapidly. Where did you find that? It was hidden. Which means it's important, Captain Wright said firmly. Ambassador, someone attacked your ship and tried to kill everyone aboard. We need to know why. The Navaxi was silent for a long moment. Finally, it reached out with a slender tentacle and took the device. This contains evidence, Kelthar said quietly. Dangerous evidence. Of what? Ryan asked. Of a conspiracy that reaches into the highest levels of the Galactic Union. The ambassador connected the device to Lisa's computer terminal. Its tentacles moved quickly over the interface, entering a complex series of commands. The screen filled with data, charts, ship logs, and recorded messages. Our ship was carrying medical supplies, Kelthar explained, but also information gathered by our intelligence agents. For the past year, Navaxi medical shipments have been disappearing. 23 ships lost. That's not public knowledge, Captain Wright said. No. The Union Council claimed they were accidents or pirate attacks. Kelthar's colors darkened. But we discovered the truth. The Krell Imperium is behind the attacks. Ryan frowned. The Krell? They're Union members. Yes. But they secretly want more power. They target our ships because Navaxi medical technology is the best in the Union. By stealing our supplies and research, they gain advantage. Lisa worked at her terminal, organizing the data. This is evidence of a systematic campaign. Ship movements, attack patterns. She pointed to a section of code. And these look like financial records. Bribes, Kelthar confirmed. Paid to Union officials to ignore the attacks. My team was gathering proof when we were discovered. The Krell tried to destroy all evidence. Captain Wright studied the star charts. The attacks follow a pattern along the border of Krell space. They're expanding their territory. And using Navaxi technology to strengthen their position, Ryan added. Lisa pulled up more files. According to this, the ship you were on discovered something even bigger. A Krell military outpost in neutral space hidden in an asteroid field. Kelthar's colors pulsed rapidly. Yes, they are preparing for war while pretending to seek peace. Captain Wright straightened up. We need to report this to Earth Alliance Command. They can bring it before the Union Council with evidence the Krell can't dismiss. She turned to Ryan. Prepare a secure transmission to Admiral Garcia. Priority 1. Ryan left for the communications center on the upper deck. He sat at his station and began coding the message. But when he tried to connect to the long-range communication array, error messages flashed across his screen. Computer. Run diagnostic on communication systems, he ordered. Long-range communication array is offline. Physical damage detected. In Sector 7 Alpha. Ryan hit his emergency comm. Captain Wright, we have a problem. Our long-range communications have been sabotaged. In the engineering lab, the captain received Ryan's message with a grim expression. It seems the Krell know we rescued survivors, she told Kelthar and Lisa. Or they have a spy on your ship, Kelthar suggested. Lisa looked up from her terminal with alarm. Captain, I've just decoded more data. 3 more Navaxi vessels are scheduled to pass through this sector in the next 2 weeks, all carrying medical supplies similar to the shipment that was attacked. The Krell will attack them too, Captain Wright said. Yes, and without your ship to warn them, they will suffer the same fate as our vessel. Kelthar's colors shifted to a deep red. My people will die. Captain Wright's face hardened with determination. Not if we can help it. With our communications down, we're on our own out here. But the Intrepid isn't running away. What will you do? Asked Kelthar. What Deathworlders do best, she answered. Fight back. The main meeting room of the Intrepid was filled with the ship's senior officers. Captain Wright stood at the head of the table, her expression serious as she looked at each person. We have a decision to make, she said. Our long-range communications are down. Engineer Blackwood estimates it will take at least 5 days to repair the damage. By then, the first Navaxi ship will already be in the danger zone, Ryan pointed out. Patricia Daniels, the security chief, leaned forward. We could try to intercept the Navaxi vessels and warn them. Or we could go after the Krell directly, suggested Sam Powell, the navigation officer. Hit their hidden base in the asteroid field. With one ship? Dr. Martinez shook his head. The Krell would destroy us. Captain Wright nodded. I've considered all options. Now I want your honest opinions. We're far from home, cut off from support. Do we stay and try to help the Navaxi, or do we retreat to safer space and report what we've learned? A heavy silence fell over the room. Finally, Communications Officer Ethan Williams spoke up. If we leave, more Navaxi will die. I say we stay. One by one, the other officers agreed. Even those who had concerns voted to remain and help. Then it's settled, Captain Wright said. We stay and find a way to warn those ships. Later that day, Ryan visited the medical bay to check on the Navaxi survivors. He found Ambassador Kelthar speaking with Dr. Martinez. How are your people doing? Ryan asked. Better, thanks to your doctor's care, Kelthar replied. Its colors had brightened to a healthier blue. Dr. Martinez has been telling me about Earth. It sounds like a terrifying place, another Navaxi added from a nearby bed. High gravity, extreme weather, dangerous animals. Ryan smiled. We call it home. You adapt to the conditions you're born into. Perhaps that is why you humans are so. Kelthar paused, searching for the right word. Stubborn, Ryan suggested. Resilient, the ambassador corrected. The captain told us of your decision to stay and help. We did not expect such kindness from Deathworlders. Ryan sat down next to the ambassador. There's something I've been wondering. What was your ship carrying that was so important the Krell would attack you? Kelthar's colors shifted to a deep green. A new medical compound. It can regenerate damaged tissue in almost any species. It would save millions of lives across the Union. And make the Navaxi very influential, Ryan guessed. Yes. The Krell don't want that. They prefer weapons to medicines. They think caring for the weak makes a species vulnerable. Their conversation was interrupted when an alarm sounded throughout the ship. Ryan rushed to the bridge. What's happening? He asked as he took his station. Krell warship detected on long-range scanners, Captain Wright replied. Heading this way. How did they find us? Patricia wondered. They must have been monitoring the area, Ryan said. Looking for survivors or rescue ships. Captain Wright studied the tactical display. We're outgunned. We need to hide. She turned to Sam Powell. Navigation, are there any places nearby where we can conceal the ship? There's a nebula about 20 minutes away at full speed, Sam replied. Its gases would mask our energy signature. Set course immediately. As the Intrepid raced toward the nebula, Ethan Williams worked frantically at his communications station. Captain, I might have a way to get a message out, he said. There's a commercial relay station at the edge of the system. It's used by trading ships to send messages home. The Krell would detect any transmission we send, Patricia warned. Not if I use a Navaxi commercial code, Ethan explained. I've been working with Ambassador Kelthar. We can hide a warning inside what looks like routine trade data. Captain Wright nodded. Do it, but make it quick. Ethan's fingers flew over his console. The message was brief. Coordinates and a warning about Krell attacks disguised as shipping information. He sent it just as the Intrepid entered the nebula's swirling gases. The ship went dark, running on minimum power to avoid detection. On the bridge, the crew watched nervously as the Krell warship passed by. "They haven't seen us," Ryan whispered. "Not yet," Captain Wright replied. "But they're searching the area. It's only a matter of time before they find us or the next Navaxi ship arrives." "So what do we do now?" Sam asked. A slow smile spread across the captain's face. "We use their hunting instinct against them. This nebula affects sensors and shields. That gives us an advantage." "We're going to fight them?" Patricia asked. "No," Captain Wright replied. "We're going to beat them." Ryan, gather the senior staff and Ambassador Kelthar. It's time to set a trap. The pink and purple gases of the nebula swirled around the Intrepid like colorful fog. Inside the ship, humans and Navaxi worked together in engineering. Ambassador Kelthar's tentacles moved quickly over sensor equipment while Lisa Blackwood made adjustments. "The nebula blocks most scanning signals," Lisa explained to Captain Wright. "But the Navaxi have shown us how to modify our sensors to detect movement through gas displacement patterns." "Will it work?" the captain asked. Kelthar's colors brightened to a confident blue. "Yes. My people evolved in deep oceans. We understand how to track movement through fluid environments." "The nebula is similar enough to water for their techniques to work," Lisa added. "We can see the Krell, but they can't see us." "Good." Captain Wright turned to Sam Powell. "Navigation? What about the asteroid field at the edge of the nebula?" Sam brought up a map on the display screen. "It's dense but navigable. I've plotted several routes through it." "And I've prepared something special," Patricia Daniels said with a smile. She pointed to different asteroids on the map. "Mining charges placed on these key rocks. When triggered, they'll create a chain reaction." Ryan studied the plan with growing admiration. "A perfect trap. But how do we lure the Krell into it?" "The next Navaxi medical transport will be passing through this system in 14 hours, Captain Wright said. "The Krell will be waiting for it." "So we use the Navaxi ship as bait?" Dr. Martinez asked, frowning. "That puts them in danger." "Not with our plan," the captain assured him. "Ethan, are the communication modifications ready?" "Communications officer." Ethan Williams nodded. "Yes, Captain. We can now send tight beam messages that won't be detected by Krell sensors. I've provided the frequency to the incoming Navaxi vessel." "Then here's what we'll do," Captain Wright said, outlining her plan. 14 hours later, the crew of the Intrepid watched as a Navaxi medical transport entered the system. Just as expected, the Krell warship moved to intercept it. "They're taking the bait," Ryan said from his station. "Ethan, signal the Navaxi ship to change course toward the asteroid field," the captain ordered. The Navaxi vessel immediately altered its path, heading toward the asteroids. The Krell warship followed, its weapons powering up. "The Krell are gaining on them," Sam reported. "The Navaxi ship won't reach the asteroid field in time." "That's our cue," Captain Wright said. "Bring engines to full power. Lieutenant Reyes, take us in." Lieutenant Kelly Reyes, the Intrepid's pilot, gripped her controls. "Yes, Captain." The Intrepid burst from the nebula's gases, engines flaring as it raced toward the Krell ship. The sudden appearance of the human vessel caught the Krell by surprise. "They're turning to engage us," Patricia reported from Tactical. "Diverting power from their forward weapons." "Perfect. Kelly, execute maneuver Delta 7. The Intrepid twisted in space, performing a complex series of turns that no Krell ship could match. Krell pilots, evolved on a low-gravity world, couldn't handle the G-forces that humans found merely uncomfortable. "They're firing," Ryan called out as energy beams flashed past the ship. "Evasive pattern," Captain Wright ordered. "Draw them toward the asteroid field." Kelly's hands moved smoothly over her controls. The Intrepid danced through space, always staying just ahead of the Krell weapons fire. "The Navaxi ship has reached the safety point," Ethan reported. "Excellent. Patricia, prepare to detonate the charges. Kelly, on my mark, execute your escape route." The Intrepid dove into the asteroid field with the Krell warship close behind. When they reached the center of the field, Captain Wright gave the order. Now! Patricia triggered the mining charges. Explosions rippled through the asteroid field, sending massive rocks tumbling toward the Krell ship. At the same moment, Kelly pulled the Intrepid into a tight turn that no Krell vessel could copy. The Krell ship tried to follow but couldn't match the maneuver. It collided with the first wave of asteroids. More rock slammed into its hull, damaging engines and weapons. "Direct hit," Patricia called out. The bridge crew cheered as the Krell warship tumbled helplessly through space, its engines flickering. "They're retreating," Ryan reported as the damaged Krell ship limped away. Captain Wright allowed herself a small smile. "Well done, everyone." But the moment of triumph was short-lived. Ethan's voice cut through the celebration. "Captain, the Krell ship is transmitting a wideband message to all nearby vessels. They're identifying us as hostile aggressors in Union space." Ryan looked at the captain with concern. "They're twisting this to make us look like the attackers." Captain Wright's expression hardened. "It won't work. The Navaxi ship saw everything." "But will anyone listen to the Navaxi over the Krell?" Ryan asked. "The Krell have more influence in the Union Council." "Then we need more support," the captain said firmly. "Ethan, did your message get through to Earth Alliance Command?" "Yes, but with our communications still damaged, we won't know if they received it until they respond." The captain looked out at the stars on the view screen. "Then we hold our position and protect the Navaxi ship until help arrives, if it arrives." Admiral Nathan Garcia stood at the window of his office on Earth Alliance headquarters. From here he could see the busy spaceport below. Ships came and went, carrying people and cargo to distant stars. But his mind was on one ship in particular. "Play that message again," he ordered. His assistant tapped a control, and Ethan Williams's voice filled the room. "Intrepid under attack. Krell forces targeting Navaxi medical transports. Evidence of corruption in Union Council. Request immediate assistance." The message was broken, with static cutting out many words, but it was enough. Admiral Garcia turned to face the other officers in the room. "The Intrepid is one of our best ships. Captain Wright wouldn't send this message without good reason." "But, sir," said one commander, "intervening would risk our standing with the Union. The Krell have powerful allies. And if we do nothing, we risk the lives of our people," Garcia countered, "not to mention the Navaxi who are being targeted." Another officer spoke up. "The diplomatic office advises caution. They suggest we request a formal investigation through Union channels." Admiral Garcia laughed without humor. "Which would be blocked by the same corrupt officials mentioned in the message." He shook his head. "No. We didn't join the Galactic Union to stand by while the strong prey on the weak." He walked to a star map on the wall. "Prepare the Third Fleet for immediate departure. The flagship Defender will lead. I'll command personally." "Sir, that's nearly 20 ships," his assistant said, surprised. "The Krell need to understand that attacking our vessels has consequences, and the rest of the Union needs to see that Earth honors its commitments to protect." Meanwhile, aboard the damaged Intrepid, the crew worked desperately to repair their systems. The battle with the Krell had left the ship with multiple hull breaches and failing power systems. In the medical bay, Navaxi survivors used their knowledge to help treat injured humans. Dr. Martinez watched with amazement as Kelthar applied a strange blue gel to a burned crew member. "What is that substance?" he asked. "The same regenerative compound the Krell want to steal," Kelthar explained. "It speeds healing and prevents infection." The injured crew member, who had been in great pain, relaxed as the gel took effect. "That's amazing," she said. "I can't feel the burn anymore." "Your people have remarkable medical knowledge," Dr. Martinez told Kelthar. "And your people have remarkable courage," the ambassador replied. "Before meeting you, we were told that humans were dangerous, that Deathworlders could not be trusted because they are too aggressive, too violent." "And now?" asked Dr. Martinez. Kelthar's colors shifted to a warm orange. "Now I see that the same strength that makes you dangerous to enemies makes you valuable as allies." On the bridge, Captain Wright surveyed the damage reports with concern. "How long until main power is restored?" she asked Lisa. At least 6 hours, the engineer replied. The weapon systems will take longer. Ryan looked up from his station. Captain, long-range sensors are detecting multiple warp signatures. A large group of ships is headed our way. Krell reinforcements? Captain Wright asked. Unknown. They're still too far away to identify. Patricia checked tactical sensors. The Krell battle group we detected earlier is also moving toward our position. Estimated arrival in 3 hours. Captain Wright's face was grim. So we have 3 hours before the Krell arrive and we won't have weapons. Perfect. What about the Navaxi medical ship? Ryan asked. They've taken position behind the largest asteroid. They should be safe for now. Captain, Ethan called from communications. I'm receiving a transmission from the approaching ships. It's Earth Alliance encryption. Hope flashed across Captain Wright's face. Put it through. Admiral Garcia's face appeared on the view screen. Captain Wright, the Third Fleet is responding to your distress call. We'll reach your position in approximately 4 hours. Admiral, we have Krell forces arriving in 3 hours. Captain Wright reported. Then you'll need to hold them off for 1 hour, the Admiral replied. Can you do that? Captain Wright looked around at her tired but determined crew. Yes, sir. We'll find a way. As the communication ended, Ryan approached the captain. 1 hour doesn't sound like much, but with our current condition... I know, she said quietly. But we've survived this long. We'll make it 1 more hour. She straightened her uniform. Lisa, focus all repair teams on shields and engines. Patricia, prepare a defensive position using the asteroid field. We may not have weapons, but we still have our wits and determination. Sam Powell smiled from his navigation station. And that's why the Krell will never understand humans. They think our death world made us just strong, but it also made us stubborn. Captain Wright nodded. Exactly. Now let's show them what stubborn Deathworlders can do when protecting their friends. The Krell battle group emerged from warp space like predators scenting blood. 6 warships, their hulls gleaming with metallic scales, moved into attack formation. On the bridge of the Intrepid, the crew watched in tense silence. 1 hour until the Earth Alliance fleet arrives, Ryan reminded Captain Wright. And our status? She asked. Shields at 40%, engines at 60%, weapons still offline, Patricia reported. Captain Wright nodded calmly. Then we stick to the plan. Sam, take us deeper into the asteroid field. The Intrepid moved, carefully between the massive floating rocks. Behind them, the Navaxi medical ship and 2 other Navaxi vessels that had arrived seeking refuge followed closely. The Krell ships are entering the asteroid field, Ryan announced. They're moving slowly, trying to avoid the debris. Good. That buys us time. The captain turned to Lisa. Is the surprise ready? The engineer grinned. Yes, Captain. We've modified our tractor beams based on Navaxi technology. They can now grab and throw asteroids with much greater force. Excellent. Patricia, target the lead Krell ship when they reach the choke point. Minutes ticked by as they waited. The Krell ships pushed deeper into the asteroid field, hunting for the Intrepid and the Navaxi vessels. They've reached the choke point, Ryan said. Now, ordered Captain Wright. Patricia activated the modified tractor beams. 3 large asteroids were suddenly pulled from their positions and hurled toward the lead Krell ship. The rocks smashed into its hull, cracking its armor and disabling its main weapons. Direct hit, Patricia called out. The other Krell ships are adjusting course, Ryan reported. They're trying to surround us. Sam, evasive pattern Delta 3, the captain ordered. Keep us moving. The Intrepid darted between asteroids, using the field for cover. The Krell ships fired their weapons, but most shots hit rocks instead of the human vessel. 40 minutes until the fleet arrives, Ryan said, checking the time. On the main view screen, they could see the Krell commander's face as Ethan intercepted their communications. The alien had gray, leathery skin and small eyes designed for a world with less sunlight than Earth. Find the human ship, the Krell commander ordered his fleet. Destroy it and the Navaxi vessels. Leave no witnesses. Captain Wright smiled grimly. They're getting frustrated. That makes them careless. The battle continued, with the Intrepid using the asteroid field and modified tractor beams to keep the Krell ships at bay, but time was running out. "Captain, our shields are down to 20%, Patricia warned. "We can't take much more of this." "And we're running out of large asteroids to throw," Lisa added. 20 minutes until the fleet arrives," Ryan said, his voice tense. The Krell commander seemed to sense their weakness. "All ships, converge on the human vessel's last position. Fire all weapons." Energy beams cut through space, slicing through the Intrepid's weakened shields. The ship shuddered under the impact. "Hull breach on Deck 3, Lisa shouted. "Emergency containment fields activated." "Shields failing," Patricia added. Captain Wright gripped her chair as the ship rocked with another hit. "Sam, take us behind the largest asteroid. Everyone prepare for impact." The Intrepid flew behind a massive asteroid just as another barrage of Krell weapons fire hit. The rock shattered, sending pieces slamming into the ship's hull. 10 minutes until the fleet arrives," Ryan said, holding onto his console. "We're not going to make it," Patricia whispered. "Yes, we are," Captain Wright said firmly. "This ship and crew have faced worse odds." Suddenly, Ethan straightened at his station. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple warp signatures. They're early." The space around them lit up as dozens of warp portals opened. The Earth Alliance fleet, led by the massive flagship Defender, emerged from hyperspace. The fleet was larger than expected, with over 30 ships of various sizes forming a protective wall between the Intrepid and the Krell battle group. "They brought more than the Third Fleet," Ryan said in amazement. On the main screen, Admiral Garcia's face appeared. "Captain Wright, the cavalry has arrived. Sorry we're early. We pushed the engines beyond recommended limits. No apologies necessary, Admiral," Captain Wright replied with a relieved smile. The Krell ships halted their attack, suddenly facing overwhelming force. The Earth vessels moved into formation, their weapons trained on the Krell battle group. "This is Admiral Nathan Garcia of the Earth Alliance fleet," the Admiral's voice boomed across all communication channels. "To the Krell commander, your ships have attacked an Earth Alliance vessel and peaceful Navaxi transports in neutral space. Power down your weapons immediately." There was a tense moment of silence before the Krell commander responded. "This is not your concern, human. The Navaxi vessels were smuggling illegal technology." "That's a lie," Captain Wright said. "We have evidence of systematic Krell attacks on Navaxi medical transports, approved by corrupt officials in the Galactic Union." Admiral Garcia's voice was cold with controlled anger. "Krell commander, you have 10 seconds to power down your weapons. After that, we will respond with appropriate force." The Krell ships hesitated, then slowly lowered their shields and powered down weapon systems. "A wise decision," Admiral Garcia said. "Now let's discuss this situation properly, face to face." The Great Hall of the Galactic Union Council gleamed with polished stone and towering windows that showed the stars beyond. Representatives from hundreds of species sat in curved rows, their voices a mix of whispers and translator devices. Indoor, the center of the hall, stood Captain Olivia Wright and Ambassador Kelthar. Behind them, Admiral Garcia and a delegation of both humans and Navaxi waited silently. The council leader, a tall being with 4 arms and silver skin, spoke first. "This emergency session will now begin. We are here to address serious accusations against the Krell Imperium and certain members of this council." A Krell representative rose to his feet. "These accusations are baseless. The humans attacked our peaceful patrol ships without provocation." Captain Wright stepped forward. "With respect, that is false. We have evidence proving the Krell have been systematically attacking Navaxi medical transports for over a year." She nodded to Ethan Williams, who activated a display in the center of the hall. Images and data from the Navaxi data device filled the air for all to see. "This information shows not only the pattern of Krell attacks," Wright continued, "but also the bribes paid to certain council officials to ignore these crimes." A shocked murmur ran through the hall. Several council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The Krell representative hissed, "This is human deception. Everyone knows Deathworlders cannot be trusted." Ambassador Kelthar moved forward, his skin shifting to a calm blue. I once believed the same about humans, but I have seen their actions firsthand. The crew of the Intrepid risked their lives to save mine and my fellow Navaxi. They stood against the Krell when no one else would. More evidence was presented. Censor. Logs from the Intrepid, testimony from Navaxi survivors, and records recovered from the captured Krell ships. As the truth became clear, the mood in the council shifted. The council leader spoke again. Based on this evidence, the council finds the Krell Imperium guilty of attacking Navaxi vessels and attempting to steal their medical technology. The involved council members will be removed and face criminal charges. The Krell representative snarled in anger but could say nothing against the overwhelming evidence. Furthermore, the council leader continued, the Krell Imperium will pay reparations to the Navaxi Cooperative and withdraw from the disputed border regions. After the formal proceedings ended, Captain Wright found herself surrounded by representatives from various species, all eager to speak with her. Is it true that your ship fought 6 Krell warships with damaged systems? Asked an avian being. How can your species withstand such combat stress? Questioned another. Wright answered politely but was glad when Admiral Garcia rescued her from the crowd. You've become quite popular, he said with a smile. It seems Deathworlder is becoming a term of respect rather than fear. That was never our goal, Wright replied. No, but it's a welcome change. The Council has approved our proposal for a joint human Navaxi rescue and diplomatic fleet. Wright raised her eyebrows in surprise. That was fast. The Navaxi spoke strongly in our favor, and many council members are reassessing their views on humans after seeing how we handled the Krell. Ambassador Kelthar joined them, his colors bright with excitement. Captain Wright, I have news. The Intrepid has been selected as the flagship for the new joint fleet. You will command it. Me? Wright asked, surprised. Who better? The ambassador replied. You have shown the galaxy what Deathworlders truly are. Not mindless warriors, but protectors who answer when help is needed. 2 weeks later, the repaired Intrepid prepared to depart from the Navaxi homeworld. Its crew now included both humans and Navaxi, working side by side. Captain Wright sat in her command chair, looking at her diverse bridge crew with pride. Ryan Foster smiled from his station. Who would have thought a distress call would lead to all this? And change how the Union sees humans, added Patricia. It's just the beginning, Captain Wright said. We still have much to learn from each other. Suddenly, Ethan looked up from communications. Captain, we're receiving a distress signal from a Union science vessel near the Zorvan Nebula. They report severe damage from an ion storm. Captain Wright didn't hesitate. Set course, maximum speed. As the Intrepid jumped to warp, Ambassador Kelthar's colors shifted to a pattern that represented laughter in Navaxi culture. What's amusing, Ambassador? Wright asked. I was just thinking about your Earth saying that history repeats itself. How so? The name of your species' homeworld in the old Union language translates roughly to the planet of those who answer. It seems humans have always been responders. Captain Wright smiled as stars streaked past on the view screen. The old saying was wrong, she thought. Deathworlders don't just rescue, they answer the call, every time, no matter the danger.